And something new at WSKI this year is going to be us giving you a report from our neighbors next door in the Rangeley region. The Rangeley Chamber will be doing some work with us here at WSKI. And that's something we've been wanting forever because we look at this region as a big region. And as a destination, the more we do and the more the Rangeley area does together, it just makes it more of a place for people to come to from away and enjoy all year round. And we have with us on the set Sue Downs-Borko, who is the president of the Rangeley Friends of the Arts. So way cool. Delighted to have you here, Sue. We've seen each other before, but nice to meet you officially.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
And thanks for making the trip.
Absolutely.
And it's not that far away, is it?
It is not.
Like half an hour, 40 minutes at the most. So what is happening with Rangeley Friends of the Arts? What's that all about?
We are entering a whole new chapter. 45 years the organization has been in existence, but for the first time as of within this month, we have our own home base.
Right.
So for 45 years, we've been begging, borrowing, stealing different venues to use for all our concerts, events. And as of a new proposal that we had from some great friends this year, we now have a home for the first time, which is the Lakeside Theater right in downtown Rangeley.
So does that mean the old theater and the movie part has gone away, or what's happening with the actual theater?
Not really. I think that we've heard from the public that they would like to see movies continuing to some degree. So we're going to try to accommodate still running of some movies. What exactly and how often has still to be determined, because the actual closing was just a week or so ago. So a lot of this, right. We're in the process of having a new building committee get together and set up short-term plans, long-term plans, policy, figure out, do we need employees and who are they going to be? So
wow.
Lots and lots to do, and hopefully we'll be really up and running by spring and early summer.
Wow. Big challenges, but exciting. You must be really stoked.
It's really fantastic.
What keeps your organization ticking along?
It's actually, we've got a very vibrant arts community in Rangeley, and there are just a bunch of committed people, and have been for 45 years, that want to see things happening. And so a lot happens in the summertime, but more and more happens in the winter, particularly with the school. So we're very arts education oriented, and we have quite a serious partnership with the Rangeley Lakes Regional School.
So what would be coming up, for example, in the weeks and months ahead?
Well, I can tell you that in this fall, what just happened was Theater at Monmouth came to the school for an entire day and gave a production and worked with the kids all day long. And then at night, they put on a production of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
Wow.
For the community at the theater.
Wow.
A group of high school kids went to Portland and saw Portland Stage in a production called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, about the blues and the whole, in Chicago and what things were like back then. Coming up, we're taking a group of kids to see The Snow Queen at Portland Stage, and that's grades 3 to 5, and then all the high school kids as well. The Walk to Bethlehem is coming up, and that's been a huge part of Rangeley's winter for many, many years. So there's a couple who dresses up as Mary and Joseph, and we find a newborn baby to play Jesus, and there's kids that play the shepherds and the angels, and we have this walk that starts at the Rangeley Inn, and it goes to each of the churches in town, and then they finish up at the biggest church in town, which is Good Shepherd Episcopal Church, and we have a full-on concert and the pageant where everybody in the play walks up and they read the scripture that goes with it, and sometimes there are dancers, and we have a handbell choir, and it's really...
When does that happen? The weekend before Christmas?
It's Mountain Holidays weekend, so
right.
The Chamber puts on Mountain Holidays, and all the shops get into it. It's December 13 to 15 this year.
Gotcha.
So on the 13th, the community chorus will be singing, and Northfield a cappella group will also be singing on that program, and some of the school kids get into it. So it's kind of like a 3-for-1 deal. And then Saturday night, the Rotary and I think Chamber coordinate with the Parade of Trees. up at Saddleback, where they have an auction of these amazing trees covered in things that are worth a lot of money, and raise funds. And then on Sunday is the Walk to Bethlehem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neat.
It's a great weekend.
It's a great weekend, absolutely. And I loved what you were talking about before, giving the local kids that exposure to theater, which is something that you can totally miss out on in our region.
Yes.
Unless you have an opportunity like that presented to you.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is that you never know when something like that might actually click with a kid and change their life, because
That's
they've been
right.
exposed to something that they might not have if they hadn't had the chance to do something like
That's
that.
right.
So, and that's what it's all about. Any of us who love art, that's what we're trying to do all
Yeah.
the time, is let everybody know there's a million reasons to love all kinds of art, isn't
Absolutely.
there? Right.
Yeah. Sometimes we bring in a special artist to work with the kids. We've bought supplies for the AP kids when they've needed something special. Every spring we take grades 3 to 5 to see the Portland Symphony Orchestra, and they do a special kids program. And then in the afternoon we either take them to Portland Museum of Art, or one year we took them to University of New England. They have the Payson Gallery down there, which is great.
Right.
And last year we took them to the planetarium, and the kids were just crazy about that.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Who
So-
doesn't like a planetarium?
Exactly.
And you don't even normally think of that as art, but just getting them on a field trip out and about to see something culturally a bit different than what they see every day, that's what it's all about.
And you know, you start looking at that show with all the stars up there, and there's something very artistic about that. It seemed to be a perfect fit.
What are some of your favorite things about living in the Rangeley area?
Well, the people, first of all, but also the great outdoors was a huge attractor for us. We're big hikers, so we love to be outside. I'm gearing up to ski. Last year was my first time getting to try Sugarloaf. I'm actually new to downhill skiing, but I had my own personal guide, Pam Morse, took me down, and it was just awesome. I loved it. So we're hoping to come back next week for the Locals Week.
Right.
And then we also have season passes at Saddleback, so we'll be up there a lot. And we love to snowshoe. Absolutely love to be out in the woods, nice and quiet, watching the sparkling snow, getting a good workout.
So you got a good compromise when you move down from Alaska. You get to keep some of that beautiful wilderness thing from Alaska and yet not be quite as far away from family.
It's the best of both worlds. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, Sue, it's been a real delight to have you come over. Hope we have you again.
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
definitely keep everybody posted as to what's going on over in Rangeley all this winter, so everybody can have the chance to explore more of Maine's High Peaks region. Absolutely.